Hi guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm finally back after missing 2 Mondays. I'm gonna do the next letter in the 3 and 30 alphabet challenge that was set forth by the lovely Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. So I am way behind Tina. She's on letter I don't even know. Oh, maybe was this past Saturday. I'm still back on letter E, and E is for embossing. And I will say that I have already tried to do this video twice before. That was before we went to Florida, and in hopes that I could go ahead and upload it while we were gone, and it did not go well. So the reason it didn't go well is my embossing ink. Well, I'm hoping that the reason was that I needed to re-ink it, which I have done, but I couldn't get any stamped images to be fully, inked. Like my stamp wouldn't ink up. So I'm hoping that I've solved that issue. I haven't tested it, so in typical, fashion, I'm just gonna go for it because that's what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one dry embossing with my Big Kick. And I've already done a trial run just to make sure. So we've got this, and that was my little trial run. I think it turned out really cute. It was just a plain tag like this when I started. So I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't gonna cut too deep with the way I had my Big Kick set up. So I'm gonna do that, and I've got some items here to decorate with after we've embossed it. And then I have 2 projects with ink and embossing powder that I'm going to try. And I completely forgot to grab the acetate that I need, of course. So I'm gonna grab that real quick. Well, it's not necessarily acetate that we need. It's just acetate that I would like to have. Let's put it that way, for what I had in mind. So I'm just gonna sit this back here, and obviously I'll have to cut it, and that'll be part of my 30 minutes, which chances are I'm probably gonna go over, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna start with the dry embossing. So I've got my timer, my handy dandy Pampered Chef timer that I've had forever. I love this thing. And here we go, guys. All right, so this is kind of an awkward setup for my Big Kick because my desk is not really big enough for the, when you have to have it open, but it works. So I am just lining this up. This is a Lifestyle Crafts embossing folder. I'm sure that I got it at Tuesday morning. I'm just gonna make sure that it's lined up in there. So it's straight, and so that I don't miss anything top and bottom. And then I'm going to sandwich that between my 2 plates. And this is what I was checking earlier, if I needed 1 or 2 plates, but I like how it worked with 2. So let's see if I can do this. I have to flip this up or it's gonna hit stuff on my desk, and as I'm gonna do this very awkwardly. All right, now that I've got it going, isn't this fun to watch? I usually do this standing up at a bigger table, and now I'm doing it sitting down at my tiny desk. So almost done. All right, there we go. Now we can take that out and move this monstrosity to the floor. All right, I feel like I haven't been around for a while. I mean, I know I did the giveaway video last week and stuff, but whew, it's been a whirlwind since we got back from Florida, and I have not been feeling well. As I think I said last week. So yeah, there is our tag. I'm going to zoom you in and straighten things up here because it kind of went wobbly. So just give me 1 second. Sorry, I would normally edit out the wobbliness, but I can't do that because I'm on a time crunch. All right, so let's go ahead and ink up the edges. I just have some walnut stain distress ink here. I think that'll look nice. And you know, if you wanted to, you could go over the ridges with the ink as well. I tend to not be very good at that, and I tend to make a horrible mess. So I decided instead of doing that, I'm going to just decorate this, and then it will be pretty. All right, do I have any? I do, and I think I'll add some walnut stain colored reinforcers just to keep the color the same, because the ones that are on, I don't even think, no, they might be real. They're just really light. So let's just add these. Plus then you won't have the embossing over top of that. I think that'll look nicer. And I got a few flowers here. I'm in a Christmas mood. Oh, Christmas. Everything's Christmas right now. I have not decorated yet, and I don't usually until after Thanksgiving, but you know, I love Christmas, so anything I can do to get ready for that. I think I like this one best. Let me get these out of the way. Make sure I'm in frame. So yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. A happy and safe Halloween if you celebrate that. I know that was last week. We were kind of spoil sports about it. We just kind of sat and we didn't even have candy to pass out. The problem is, if I have candy to pass out, I will eat it before, you know, Halloween, and I don't need to be eating that. So we don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters here anyway. Plus we didn't want a lot of people, like, you know, knocking on the door and things like that, because Oscar is going through this phase that I hope doesn't last much longer, where if he hears somebody outside just on the sidewalk, he starts barking. So it was kind of a lot of different reasons that we did not pass out candy. This was the first or second year that we didn't go to my mom's. This was also the first year that neither one of my children were home for Halloween. Now, obviously they haven't trick-or-treated for years, but they have dressed up and helped pass out candy at my parents, because my parents get a lot of trick-or-treaters. So that's what we usually do. But this year my parents are visiting my sister, and we just kind of hung out inside with the lights off. All right, I have this really pretty, I don't know if you can see the sparkle in it. I think it's showing up. I love this. And I'm just going to use it to make a little, what do you call this? Topper? I just lost all train of thought for my tag. Whatever, you know, this thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So yeah, what did we do this weekend? This weekend we, so since we got the puppy, he has been sort of relegated to one room of the house, because until Tyler moved out, this is not going very well. Our living room was pretty much a storage area for his things that he was going to bring, and also for Nick's items that he left behind. And so there was no way. All right, finished, number one. That's cute. I like that. And that's sort of Christmassy. I like the colors. It's kind of a rustic tag. All right, so set that aside. You know, our living room was just unusable. So we spent Saturday getting everything reorganized and put away so that the puppy can have full reign of our entire downstairs. And he was so excited. that we did that for him. So, all right, next, I need to stop talking. I just have this plain white tag, and I'm okay that it's white. I'm actually going to use, since it is white, I think I will just use some antique linen. If I can find my thing. Oh, it's got some dark on it. Yeah, I'm just gonna use antique linen so it's not as harsh on the white. Anyway, so yeah, we did that Saturday and he had a blast. He came, you know, we took him to daycare while we did it because there was no way we could get it done with him here. And he came home and was like, oh my gosh, I can go everywhere. And then last night, we, for the first time, let him sleep in our room outside of his crate because for some reason, since we went to Florida, he has had some separation anxiety issues. Not like going to daycare, he's fine with that, but he doesn't like when we leave the room. And he was awake all, let's see, Saturday night into Sunday. Oh, here's one. Just so miserable and crying, and we were like, you know what, we need to sleep. So we just let him come in our room, and it worked out really well. He was very good. He was a good boy. He slept with us and mostly next to me, and it was actually quite awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. All right, let's get that out of the way. All right, so I am going to use some sage colored embossing powder. This is from Ranger. And then I have this janky Christmas tree stamp that I got in a lot of stamps at the flea market. So I just thought I would stamp that down here in the corner. I need my piece of paper here to catch my embossing powder. And hopefully this works. And then I have some lace to use for a tab. Make sure, oh yeah, of course, it's now over. I'm just testing it over here on the side. Okay, it's okay. It's now overly inked, probably, the pad, but what are you gonna do? It wasn't working and it was making me angry. All right, let's give this a try. I really hope this works. All right, let's stamp it here. Can you see what I'm doing, I hope? That's kind of a nasty color though. Oh well. All right, so we will add some of the sage. Oh good, it worked. But of course, I did not let the antique linen dry. So it's sticking to that too. We'll just brush that off, no biggie. Got a little extra here. Oh, that was really dumb, Emily. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Well, now I have embossing powder all over my desk. No big deal. I don't know why this is not cooperating. Come on. I don't want all that extra. Oh well. Okay. Let me put this away, and then I will have to turn my heat tool on, and I will edit that out. The sound, just the sound, not, I won't edit anything else. Yikes. Well, whatever. It's all over the place. Okay, here we go. Okay, all embossed there. Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh. Let me put a little more on there. I messed it up. What the heck, Emily? I usually do not have this kind of trouble when I'm using embossing powders, but for some reason, and like I said before, this is like the third attempt at this video. Yeah, third attempt at this video, and I still keep doing really stupid things with the embossing powder. Oh, whatever. Okay. It's, you know, it's still cute. It's a little messed up, but that's okay. I still like it. I do, however, have embossing powder all over my desk, and I'm going to have to clean that up before we move on to the next thing. But I thought with that sage, we would use some of this maroon color lace that I have. If I can get it through the tiny little hole, that's going to probably be the problem. Let me get my pokey tool. See if we can make it work. Why do I always choose very difficult things to do for this challenge? Yikes. I mean, I still have 15 minutes, but the next thing is going to take the longest time, and I'm struggling to get some lace through here. Okay. There we go. It worked. That's all that matters. All right, very, very, very simple tag, but I think it's cute. All right, let's set that aside, and I'm gonna need to take a second and clean up all of this embossing powder. Okay, so I stopped the timer at 15 minutes. I cheated a little. I cut this down to size and I cleaned up the enormous mess of embossing powder that I had all over my desk. So let me get everything back out here that, oops, that goes here, that I was intending on using for this next part. Oh, that was fun. Okay, so let's start the timer. All right, this came just like this, and it's called This and That. It's a division of My Mind's Eye. So it's like a frame, and then it has some die cut pieces. So I've already punched them out, and I need to ink up everything real quick. I still have embossing powder everywhere. I'm probably gonna have embossing powder everywhere forever, whatever. Yeah, so I am just inking up the edges of these die cuts, and I'm going to set them to the side. I'm not even sure if I'm going to use this little square or not, but we'll get it ready just in case. And ink up our little frame here. And instead of this being, I'm not going to use it as a frame. I think it was intended like for scrapbooker, you know, like scrapbookers to use, you know, with photos. But I'm going to make it more of a pocket with a sort of see-through piece. You know, it's vellum, so it's not entirely see-through, but I think it'll be cute. So there we go. Okay, the embossing part comes in with the vellum, so we need to do that first. I need another piece of scrap paper, and this time I am not going to blow on it like a dork. Oh, I tell you what. All right, let me make sure that I don't have anything on here. Okay, so I have this stamp that says Merry and Bright, and let's see. I'm gonna put my, you know what? I should, it's okay. I'm gonna put the vellum behind the frame so I can figure out where I want to stamp. And I think again, I'm just going to do it down in the corner. Oh, I probably don't want to use that color. You know what? No, I'm going to do it. Let's see what happens. I don't know. These videos are always just kind of experimental. All right, that looks like it's well inked, so hopefully it is. Let's go ahead and stamp it here. And move the frame out of the way. I've never no, it's fine. I've never embossed on vellum before. Hopefully it works. Let's see if I can do this in such a way that I don't make as much of a mess. Looks like I got a little bit of ink on the rubber of the stamp, so just wiping that away. All right, so that's what we have. You can't really even see it. There we go. Let me get this put away before I make another huge mess. Honestly, no matter how neat you try to be with embossing powder, it's still just a mess. All right. Okay, that looks pretty. In case you were wondering, this was vintage pearl. All right. And then what I'm gonna do, done with my embossing ink, put that away. For some reason, I feel like I need to clean up today. I'm feeling sort of OCD. All right. So what we're gonna do is attach, I think I did it like this, because that's what, yeah. I'm gonna attach the vellum to the frame. And then I was going to use some like dimensional stickers here to attach the mitten. Let's see, one about here. Well, I should have probably added glue, but that's okay. Right, and then here. They're pretty sticky. I think they'll be okay. So just like that. It's cute. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this as the little topper for something that we can slide behind there. How about that? Maybe we'll use maybe an index card if I can. No, those aren't index cards. Trying, not doing very well. Okay. So yeah, so it's pretty plain, which is fine because I don't want it to be, I don't want to take away from the embossing. So I just kind of want something plain, just rounding the corners a bit. And I think I'll just staple this right on the top. There, and then when this is on a page, if I had a page, let me find something. So let's say this is a page in your journal. You can glue down just 3 sides of this, and I would actually glue, you know, like fair, because this isn't very wide, but then you can just tuck this behind here and you have a cute little pocket. And the Merry and Bright is just very faint, but I like it a lot. You could use a darker, I mean, I like this just fine. You could do something darker. I just don't have anything sitting here right now. Let me see if I can find, just to give you an idea. Like here's a darker coffee dyed time card. So you could put that behind there and then you'd be able to see the Merry and Bright even more. So the darker, obviously the better, but I still like it. I still kind of like it just muted like that. All right, that's it, guys. Another painful episode. No, I'm just kidding. So we have our very simple tag with our green embossed Christmas tree and our pretty lace, and then this really pretty tag that I embossed with my embossing machine, die cut machine, whatever, with this pretty flower and some pretty sparkly ribbon at the top, and then our frame pocket. Ta-da! All right, I mean, I technically have like 3.5 minutes to spare, but I'm really not gonna say that I did it that quickly because I did sort of cheat in the middle. I apologize for that, but I had to clean that up because I didn't want the green embossing powder to get on everything else that I was doing. And that was the only way I could figure out how to do that without cutting into my time too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the timer, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that you, you know, found some inspiration maybe, some different things to do with your embossing and with your, you know, yeah. I'm sure I didn't reinvent the wheel here. Nothing was new, but I still hope you found it fun and Christmassy, because yay. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to work on the journal. Oh, it's actually more of like a December daily that I am working on. I am almost finished with it. I want to add a tassel and maybe one or two other things. And I will be back with the flip through of that maybe later today, but if not today, definitely tomorrow. And then I have some other projects that I'm doing as design team projects. I have a couple guest design team projects in the works, and then also my final Artsology design team project and my Shabby Dabby Doodah project as well. I hope you guys have a fantastic Monday, and yeah, we'll be back next week with letter F. And I think letter F is for file folder, and I'm slightly more excited for that than I was for embossing. All right, guys, you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.